Love that shot.
It's so good. Ah.
It's still so gnarly. Hey everybody, Rob back with another reaction, and today I have a special guest joining me, Scream Scene, or I call him Larry, my friend.
Hi guys! What is up? Pew, pew, pew.
How you doing? Just hit him with the dab real quick.
I know, the dab that has been dead for like 10 years, but you know what? I'm always late to the game when it comes to these things.
Well, you know what? We're bringing it back. Today we're going to be watching 1996's Psycho.
Actually, I looked it up. Yeah, it's 1998. That's correct, yeah.
98, directed by Gus Van Sant. And this movie has always been a mystery to me because I've heard about it. I went to film school and my professor would talk about this movie. And I just never got around to checking it out. And you've seen this movie a while ago, right?
Yeah, I did see it back in 98 because I'm a huge fan of Gus Van Sant's movies. And even though I thought it was such a weird choice to have him direct this remake, I mean, like, what was Universal smoking by greenlighting this? But I thought, you know what? I might as well check it out. And that has been the only time that I've seen this movie. I don't know. What is your history with Psycho? Have you seen any of the sequels?
Yeah, I have. I've seen the first 3, and I quite enjoy those sequels. They're pretty terrific in their own right. I treat them differently than the original.
Exactly.
From what I know of this movie, it's basically a shot-for-shot remake, which is interesting.
That's the word. Interesting.
Right. Whatever that means, good or bad, I mean, I'll be the judge.
I mean, it's inevitable we're going to compare it to the original. It is a shot-for-shot remake, for Christ's sake. But, you know, we're going to have to, like, separate the legacy from this movie if we are to enjoy it in any way.
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way. The original Alfred Hitchcock Psycho is a masterpiece.
Agreed.
Let's try our best not to compare, although that's going to be impossible. But I'm ready to start it when you're ready.
And here we go. Oh, Friday the 11th, the other horror movie.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Oh yeah, this is actually this shot right here. This was the shot that Hitchcock wanted to do, a continuous, like, from the outside going into the window, but they didn't have the technology for it back in the day. So Gus Van Sant said, "Okay, I'll do it the way you wanted to do it."
That's cool.
Yeah.
Showing respect.
Oh. I'm kind of missing the Marion Crane take someone's eyes out brazier.
Yeah.
Never did eat your lunch, did you?
I better get back to the office.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Days around here a while longer.
Checking out time is 3 p.m.
Oh, I thought that the sex and noises were coming from your place. It's like, Rob, what's going on in your place there?
I don't know. My roommate could be being spicy over there.
You come down next week.
No.
God, Vigo looks so young.
He's aged really well. Like, he kind of looks the same now.
She look anything like you?
Sam.
This is 98 when it was kind of in for females to have the short cut like that. Like, that was kind of a hot look.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody was like, you either had 3 hairstyles. You either had the Meg Ryan, which is like the short, wispy. You had this, or you had the Jennifer Aniston Rachel.
Right.
Hey, wait. We can leave together, can't we?
I'm late. You have to put your shoes on.
He's gonna have to put more than his shoes on. Wait. Oh, no. You see that guy at the outside, the one at the window?
Yeah.
That was Hitchcock's cameo in the original. He was standing out there.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if the person he was pointing to was director Gus Van Sant, just so he could have like an homage to that scene, that cameo.
It would have been cool if that was Van Sant in there. Or maybe he thought that was
yeah.
too pretentious. See, this is why I have you here. You know, I need an expert.
Tomorrow's the day. My sweet little girl.
Ew.
Yeah.
$400,000 cash.
I declare.
I don't.
I don't. It's one of the better lines in this movie.
He was flirting with you. Guess he must have noticed my wedding.
Yeah, he was an old, dirty old man. He'd flirt with anyone.
I'm feeling a slight...
You go ahead on, old Me and your boss are gonna go out and get ourselves a little drink and
Yeah. Let the men talk here.
Get your pretty ass home now.
Yeah. Is this set in 1990? I guess it is set in 1998.
Yes, it's
Chris
at
said.
1998. That's why they adjusted the cash. In the original, it was $30,000. Now it's like $400,000 that she's stealing. Although I don't know, I've never seen $400,000, but is it that small of a stack? I would imagine it would be more, right?
No, I think it is actually that small. Like you'd be surprised.
Wow.
I think like Key and Peele did a funny sketch where it's like somebody rolled up like with $1 million in a briefcase, and it was actually only like 3 small piles. Like you'd think it'd be a full briefcase full, but it's actually like when you have the cash laid out, it's not that much.
Where in the world you get all that money? Yeah, it's more than I need to get out of debt.
Do you think this is something that that's just in her head she's thinking about? Or is this something that already happened?
Dandy looks all up and down the bar.
Yeah, it could be all in her head. It could be her anxiety. I don't know. That's interesting.
In quite a hurry.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't
James
intend to sleep so
Remar.
long.
No way.
You slept here all night?
Yes. As I said, I couldn't keep my eyes open.
There are plenty of motels in this area.
Yeah, she's gonna find one. Don't worry about it.
Now, just a moment. Turn your motor off, please.
James Remar, man. I know him best from The Warriors.
The Warriors. Oh, that's one of the movies from the 80s, right?
Might even be earlier.
Yeah, it's like about like a gang.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah,
that's
gangs
about?
of New York.
Right. I've only seen the poster. I've never actually seen the movie.
Oh man, you're gonna love that one. He was Dexter's dad too, though, right?
Right. Yeah. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. He's one of those very reliable working actors. What do you think of Anne Heche's performance so far?
It's subtle. I think it's good. Acting a lot without it's showing, not telling,
Exactly.
which I think is
But
good.
my criticism with her here is that she already looks kind of sinister, like from the get-go. Like it already looks like she's not a good person.
Yeah, she's up to something.
Which is kind of like the opposite of the original Marion Crane, where you kind of see the conflict like before she even like steals the money.
It's the haircut,
maybe that's
man.
just-
It's the haircut.
It's the haircut, or maybe that's just Anne Heche.
R.I.P. By the way.
I know. Okay, that parasol's a little extra, but it is kind of fashionable that it matches her dress.
You never see ladies or men just rocking umbrellas in the heat like this.
Yeah, I do all the time because, like I told you, I avoid the sun like the plague. So whenever I go out, always with an umbrella.
No way.
Yeah,
You rock that?
Yeah, of course. I have like a nice gray umbrella that folds into this tiny thing that fits into your bag.
No, I'm in a hurry. I just want to make the change and start.
That's one thing person ought not to be.
That cop is just
I know.
lingering.
Oh.
Okay.
It's been forever since I've seen the original, so I kind of forget these plot points.
Once over, check it out.
It's interesting too that her character, you could notice that all throughout the movie, men have been hitting on her. So it probably kind of adds to that sinister vibe that she's given off,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably something that Anne Heche brought to the role. Because it's like,
You are
I'm
in a
sick of
hurry.
this shit.
Somebody chasing
I
you.
have this one guy
Of course
who
not.
actually wants to be with me, but he can't because his ex-wife is like bleeding him dry. It's like probably thinking, yeah, I do deserve this.
Roughly. Your car.
But she's also good at using it to her advantage.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, she's used to it, so she can navigate her way around these interactions.
Take it, you can prove that car is yours. I mean, not a state license and all.
Can you buy a good used car for $4,000?
I don't know about good. You can probably buy like a 2007 Honda Civic with like
Which has
100,
like 120,000
Yeah,
mileage.
Those old crispy $100 bills, man.
I know. Have you ever held $400,000 in your hand?
Dude. Look at me. What kind of question is that?
Got your back.
That's...
How do you forget the? Is that where the money is?
David acted like one.
The thing is, she paid me in cash.
Yeah, so is she thinking that that's what's happened after she left?
I think
Or
it's
are we
yeah.
being informed?
That's kind of what I'm getting out of it.
Then she's always a bit late on Monday mornings.
Must be a minute she comes in.
Yeah, her paranoia and anxiety just
Yeah.
Bring the house.
I called your sister, Mr. Lowry, where she
Yeah,
works
because
for
this
Vinyl
is
Record Store
technically
now. She
Saturday,
doesn't know
right?
when-
Because it's only been a day since she left. Yeah, and the audio is saying that she's always late Monday mornings. So it's not Monday. It's technically Saturday. So yeah, you're right. This is all happening in her head.
You don't believe her again? I said she could. That was the last I saw.
well, it's like you ever get in a really stressful situation and you go for a walk or go for a drive and like you're just thinking like crazy about what is the other person thinking or like how could I have done it better? Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it's
Yep,
playing
that-
out to me. Like she's just
Yeah.
running through everything in her head.
But there's an interesting conversation between her and Norman later on.
Okay.
Where she makes a decision. And I think all of this, what do you call this? Radiohead that's happening is something that contributes to that. Wait for it. It's happening. Is it happening? Let's see it. Let's see the sign.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
It's like such a sleazebag motel.
But to be perfectly honest, if I was on a highway and I came across a motel like this, I wouldn't even think of it. But as soon as I see the house in the back, that beautiful Gothic Victorian mansion at the back, I would stay. Oh, they did change. The house is different. Yeah, the original house was a bit more symmetrical. This one has like that thing jutting out on the left.
Right, yeah.
The different house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh, here he is.
12 cabins, 12 vacancies. They moved away the highway.
That laugh. That to me, it's like the thing that really pisses me off about his performance here. It's just so out of place.
No use in dwelling on our losses. No, we just keep on lighting the lights and following the formalities.
See, eesh. It's so annoying. That was a choice.
Cabin 1, there's a big diner about 10 miles up the road.
Which he ends up working at in the sequel.
Well, the mattress is soft.
I should hope so.
Want to make your friends back home envious.
What a choice.
Over there.
The bathroom.
It's weird. Imagine
can't-
every hotel you go into, you have somebody like introducing you to the room and like,
Yeah, as if you've
showing you
never
around.
been in a room before.
It's like just give me my keys and like, leave me alone.
Would you have dinner with me? I was just about to myself on nothing special, just sandwiches and milk, but
Yeah, that is suspect.
I'd like to.
all right. Well, then you get settled in and take off your wet shoes.
All right. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, he was inviting her up to the house.
Hmm.
But a certain somebody doesn't want that.
Well, it goes back to what we were saying. You know, she's used to men hitting on her constantly, so she's just trying to get through this.
This is another point of contention for a lot of people who saw the original. It's like they were like, the money, don't put it in there, it's gonna get lost. There she is.
Some of
God,
these
down to the-
shots, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, down to the raindrops in front of the camera. That's exactly how it was. It was
It's-
shot in the original.
Very precise.
I've caused you some trouble.
No, mother.
Now this is odd for me. Like there's this warmth between them in this scene that feels, I don't know, it feels fake because they just met. I mean, I know, I'm sure she appreciates that he brought her food and all of that, but there should be a little bit of like coldness there, and the warmth will develop throughout this conversation, as you'll see.
Oh, it's all for you. Go ahead.
What we got here? Like a ham and cheese sandwich? Peaches?
No, I think that's like canned fruit cocktail. Remember those?
Classic.
Oh no, I think it's actual
You would
cut
know, of
fruit.
course.
Yeah, because
Not
you
really.
wouldn't eat those with your fingers. The syrup is gonna go all over you.
I don't really know anything about birds. My hobby is stuffing things.
That's what he said.
Some people even stuff dogs and cats. I couldn't do that. No,
This is an interesting point in Vince Vaughn's career because he didn't take off really with the comedy stuff yet, but he was doing like swingers. He was like on the indie circuit, kind of.
Yeah, but actually, the reason why he got this part was because he landed the Jurassic Park sequel.
Oh right,
So
I forgot.
yeah,
he was
exactly. Yeah, he was poised to be like the next big thing.
no. People never run away from anything.
See, here's the part where he starts opening up to her about his situation, and that's where the natural warmth starts developing on her side.
You never budge an inch.
Sometimes we deliberately step into those traps.
See, now she's realizing, oh, I'm in a fucked up situation I gotta get out of.
I say that I don't.
We should have a drinking game every time he does that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when she talks to me like that, I feel like I could curse her out and leave her forever. She's ill.
Like in the head.
After my father died, I was only 5. A few years ago, Mother met this man.
There's that little flash in his eye when he mentioned the mother's boyfriend in the past.
She had nothing left.
Except you.
A son's a poor substitute for a lover.
Well, some people have made it work.
Who'd take care of her? She'd be all alone up there.
You know what?
I understand.
Yeah.
I don't hate her. I hate what she's become.
Okay, I'll hold off my thoughts.
If you put her someplace.
Do you mean an institution?
Trigger words. No.
What do you know about caring? Have you ever seen the inside of one of those places?
Ooh.
The laughing and the tears and the cruel eyes studying you?
Yeah, this is your cue to leave, girl.
Yeah.
Do not even stay the night. Just
So
go.
Gonna take this sandwich back to my room and
And
hit
then
the
flush
head.
it down the toilet because I don't know what the hell is in this.
Yeah.
And they shake their heads. And they suggest, oh, so very delicately.
Oh, so delicately.
All right, Miss,
Crane.
Ah, there's your slip up, girl. Because remember, she put the different name. She cited the different name. Yeah. So now that's where sort of like the machinations start working in his mind, where it's like, yeah, I can do something to this girl and get away with it because nobody knows she's here.
Right.
But it's kind of like, is it him thinking this? Is it Norman, or is it the mother side of him that's thinking it? Here it is. Oh god. Now this is the part that wasn't in the original because they couldn't do that. Like the sound effects that you hear.
Did he unzip?
Yep. Yeah, that wasn't in the original. In the original, he was just looking. But here he's actually...
He's like he's masturbating.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what he's doing. Which kind of defeats the purpose of the duality of his character. Oh, that was quick.
Damn.
Guess it's been a while. You can't do that at home because mother is there. So
I don't know if I like that choice though.
Exactly, that's the thing. Because it's the whole idea of Norman is that he's like torn between these two sides of him. The conservative side that mother enforces on him, and then the desire that he never acts upon. Yeah, it dulls his character a little bit.
You'd think after finishing like that, you'd kind of come to your senses. What did they call that? Post coitus.
Yeah, post-coitus clarity.
Yeah. Right. But I never thought Norman was. I guess maybe he was, but I never saw him as like a perv.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly. He's not. He's more curious than anything.
like kind of innocent, like not sexually
Yeah.
motivated. He's just looking for. He's like a lonely dude looking for someone to just talk to. I don't know, like
Exactly, yeah.
not jerk
But yeah.
off to her.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Weird choice.
That's the first thing I do when I go to a hotel. Make sure like the water pressure in the shower is legit.
Is she there?
Man.
Oh, there she is.
Love that shot.
It's so good. Ah.
It's still so gnarly.
Yeah, these intercuts with these scenes, these random scenes. I don't know about her.
Yeah, were those shots in the original of like the thunder?
Not at all. And then the eyeball getting no, those weren't there.
Huh. Artistic liberties.
Oh, and then she has stab marks.
That scene, I know we're reacting to the remake, but just the idea of getting killed in the shower is so terrifying. Like you at your most vulnerable.
Yep.
Some
Definitely.
random person pulls that shower curtain. God, that is so scary.
That's why I always shower with like a katana right beside me.
Right. Stay strapped just in case.
Yep. Blood. Okay, so now that we've gotten to the point of the movie, what do you think now so far of Mr. Vaughn's performance as Norman?
I'm still trying to figure out if it's good or if it's kind of overacting. So far, I think it's pretty good, but I just think it's interesting seeing him in this kind of role.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more than just rags and a mop to clean that up.
I'm actually quite enjoying this so far.
Do you notice that though? There are these weird moments where the sound effects get louder and then they reduce back down. I noticed that earlier when Marion arrived.
I'm sure it's intentional. So all this like cleanup stuff was in the original?
Yes.
Okay.
Which was like this weird choice for Hitchcock to do, to have like the movie screech to a halt. What the hell was that?
That creepy look.
Jesus. And it just drops everything down before you're like...
Because he's ready to put on the next performance.
Exactly, yeah.
Didn't you notice, like, this newspaper feels pretty...
It's hefty.
What happened yesterday with the news that it weighs this much? That'd be cool to get that license plate.
And you're just fine with it with half its ass sticking out like that? Oh no, I think it's gonna keep going. Yeah, because he's worried. Go on. Go down. You can do it. And there it is. Okay, good.
Those beads, dude. man.
Yeah, the 90s when there was like a resurgence of like 70s stuff.
Surprised we haven't seen like a lava lamp yet.
I believe insect or man, death should always be painless.
Ah, here she is.
Well,
Got the Walkman on. She is killing it.
Sam?
Is that Flea?
Yep, it's Flea.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Flea shows up frequently in Gus Van Sant's movies.
She left home on Friday. I was in Tucson over the weekend, and I haven't heard from her, not even a phone call. Look, if you
Ah,
Want her to tell me it's none of my business, and then I'll go.
Bob, go down and get yourself some lunch.
yeah, you need to relax, girl. It's a little too much caffeine this morning, probably.
Who are you, friend?
Whoa. Want to back up there a little bit, Gus? Too close, too close.
I can take just so much of this.
Take it easy, friend. Just take it easy. Your girlfriend stole $400,000.
He seems pretty easy. He's like the most laid back person in this conversation.
Yeah. That's just his tactic as a
Yeah.
what is he, a detective?
But like a private investigator.
Gotcha. He's a PI.
But she's here in this town. Somewhere. I'll find her.
It is weird because you have that movie, like, say for instance, the Romeo and Juliet that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Very strict on the exact same dialogue, but it also is current.
Yeah, it's delivered with a Valley accent.
But is very stern on it has to be Shakespeare's words.
Word for word, yeah.
Word for word. So this movie's weird because you think you're either gonna be totally the same and just do a modern update of it, or you do a totally different take on it. This is like somewhere in between, and it's
My point exactly, yeah.
It's kind of a head scratcher. It's like, I don't know what to think about this. Do I like it or do I not?
Yeah, it's not even about liking it. It's sort of like, how am I supposed to take it? Because if you're giving me something new, but it sounds like the old stuff, I don't, it's kind of like it's kind of like New Coke in a way, that whole debacle.
Yeah, that's
It's like
that's a good
you're calling
comparison.
it Coke, but it's not Coke. So what you're calling it Psycho, but it's not Psycho. What?
But like New Coke still tastes pretty good, but like it's not the
Yeah.
same.
Private investigator.
The real test would be to show somebody this who hasn't seen the original.
Yeah, that would be the real test. Yeah.
You mind looking at the picture before committing yourself?
Commit myself. You sure sound like a policeman.
You said nobody had been here for a couple of weeks. Now there's this couple came by, and
Yeah?
they didn't know you were open.
Oh no, caught in a lie.
Oh, yeah, here we are. Marie Samuels, that's an interesting alias.
He did the shot. He did the exact same shot.
Marie
Oh, that's straight from the original,
Samuels, her
where
That's straight
he's
from the
like
original.
leaning like that. Cool.
But what was different with Hitchcock's was he actually tilted the camera with him. So it's like the camera was moving and tilting with him. That's why it was so odd.
Yeah. Well, it was raining that night and her hair was all wet. And I'll tell you, it's not a very good picture of her either.
Wow, throwing shade.
She arrived with anyone?
Nope.
She make any phone calls or, Would you spend the night with her? No. Well, then how do you know she didn't make any phone calls?
Oh, good question.
I'm starting to remember it now. I'm making a mental picture of it in my mind.
Was in the original, was he more convincing that he was innocent?
Yeah,
Because here
because-
he looks straight up guilty.
Yeah, in the original, he wasn't as apoplectic. He wasn't as like And again, the face wasn't as animated, or
Mhm.
maybe because that was just the acting style
He
at the
played
time.
it. He played it more like cool.
Need a warrant for that?
Look, if you don't believe me, come with me. You can help me change the beds if you like.
Look at how tall he is.
I know.
Jeez.
That's the other issue. Like what we were talking about, his physical appearance
Yeah,
is
it's imposing.
yeah.
It's not
Whereas
like Anthony Perkins was like skinny, thin guy, very Andrew Garfield like.
he would be a great if they were to do it now. He'd
Mhm.
be great.
I'm not a fool. I'm not capable of being made a fool.
I know.
Not even by a woman.
It's not a slur on your manhood. I'm sorry. My mother.
Well, then your mother met her? Could I talk to your mother?
Oh,
As I just told you,
nope.
That's all. You know, there might be some hint that you overlooked. You know, sick old women are usually pretty sharp.
You do not want to meet mother, believe me.
You know, you'd save me a lot of legwork if you'd just let me talk to her about... Do I need a warrant for that, too?
Sure.
Not gonna happen. You know the difference between a hotel and a motel is motels have doors that are outside. Hotels are all inside. You don't want to go up there.
Do not go up there, buddy.
Just let yourself in.
It's interesting that this is only the second kill in this movie, and people think it's like the most violent movie ever when it came out. It's like they only killed 2 people.
You're right, yeah. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. People think that's like the goriest movie ever. It's like you don't see shit in that movie.
Yeah,
It's
but
just the way it's filmed.
how it makes you feel
Yeah.
is the thing that really gets to you, because it's just ugh.
I think that goes here too. Yep.
Nice. Ah. See, what was that? What are these inserts?
Yeah, what was that? It was like a cow in the middle of the road.
And there's like an S&M goddess. It's like, what? This is supposed to signify like the conflict in his brain? I don't know what. Weird choice.
I don't know if I cared for that.
I'll go. You stay here.
Why can't I go with you?
I don't know. One of us has to be here in case he's on the way.
I feel like in the next few years, I'm gonna transition into a cowboy hat kind of guy.
I think you'd rock it for sure.
You think so? I was thinking
Yeah.
that, but this girl I've been hanging out with said, nah, doesn't.
Well,
suit
that's
me."
that's more on her than on you, because you have that attitude, and you also have the face shape for it.
Come back here.
So how did he get to the hotel right away? What?
Sick old lady unable to answer the door.
So he went to the hotel,
Unwilling.
and now he's back.
Wait, I almost want to rewind that. So he just went to the hotel and then
Yeah,
came
he
back.
went to the hotel, came looking for Arbogast, and then when he didn't get an answer, he went back here. It's like, that's a weird choice to insert that one scene there.
He told her to have another beer.
Yeah, has it been that long?
A week ago yesterday, without a trace.
How'd you and
Oh,
detective
this
come to
guy.
trust the film?
Yeah.
Oh, and this woman, this old lady, she was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Left Phoenix under her own steam? And she's not.
Was she the caseworker?
Yeah, the caseworker. The hello.
Yeah. Classic.
$400,000.
And the police haven't been able to.
Everyone concerned.
And I know this dude from Magnolia.
Yeah, which they worked together, Julianne Moore and him.
Right, yeah. That'll make the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Norman? Sheriff Chambers. I've been just fine, thanks.
This is where it is all revealed.
Norman Bates' mother has been dead and buried in Green Lawn Cemetery for the past 10 years.
I helped Norman pick out the dress she was buried in. Periwinkle blue.
Periwinkle.
It's kind of like a cornflower blue.
You mean that old woman I saw sitting in the window out there is not Norman Bates' mother?
You saw a shadow. It's not the same thing.
If the woman up there is Mrs. Bates, who's that woman buried out in Green Lawn Cemetery?
Nobody.
So I see what you're talking about. That's the big,
Reveal.
Yeah.
Please, Mother, no. I will
I wonder who the voice of the actress who plays the mother's voice is.
put me down and I'll walk on my own.
See, the thing is, that is Mrs. Bates.
So that's her dead body?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He dug it up years ago.
And then we're gonna get shown to a cabin. And we're gonna search every inch of that place, inside.
It's not totally realistic. You wouldn't be able to,
Well-
rigor mortis and all that stuff. You wouldn't be able to, hold it like
Bend it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Remember, he stuffs animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he probably like took out all of her bones and then replaced them with like joints or whatever, some mechanical joints to make her move around like she's alive.
It's practically known her as receipts. I think we better sign and get a receipt.
Love that shirt too. It's fire.
What was that?
Yeah, what's that about?
I think it was her way of disarming him and not thinking that she's up to something.
Okay.
$36.50.
36 bucks for one night?
Is that expensive?
It's not bad.
Not bad. Oh, well, back then it probably was.
I can handle a sick old woman.
All right.
She's not a sick old woman.
Looking for me?
Yeah, matter of fact.
Okay, this is where the sexual tension was in the original. Oh, it's there. It's here. There's a little bit there.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, because in the original, that was kind of like implied that there was, in this particular scene, it was almost like a cruising scene. You know how when gay men sort of like cruise each other in public.
Right. So Viggo's character is kind of like flirting with him a little bit to distract him.
A little bit, yeah, to distract him, to disarm him, yeah. I can't get over how different this house is. I do not like it. I do not like it.
I don't remember it being brick.
Yeah, it's not brick. It wasn't brick. It was wood. Do you hear birds? You hear those birds, right? That was the fakest surprise I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Now you know what that is, right? That indentation in the bed.
Is that, I mean, that's where he laid his mother, right?
Yeah.
For a long time.
And yeah, because she hadn't moved. It just sunk in where
Right.
her body was. Which was also something that Ed Gein used to do when he killed his mother. He kept her in his bed and he would sleep beside her night after night.
What?
Oh yeah. And he would make like lampshades out of
Yeah.
skin.
And I think, didn't they, like Texas Chainsaw was based on him, right, too?
Yeah, a little
Kind
bit.
of.
Yeah.
Extremely loosely.
See, there was none of this. There was none
Oh,
of
yeah.
this in the original. It's like you said, he wasn't a pervert. Norman wasn't a pervert. I mean, I'm sex positive and all of that, but you know, in the context of this movie.
I mean, that's what they're implying here, for sure.
Where you won't have to hide your mother.
Why don't you just get in your car and drive away?
Yeah, now Vigo's thinking that Norman killed Marion to get the money.
Damn.
Oh! Now, he didn't do that in the original. He just ran out.
All right, here we go. What's in the cellar?
Usually, nothing good. Ooh, that's nice. Double doors. Oh, this is a much more elaborate set.
Definitely. Here we go. Yes.
Ah!
All right.
See, and then here, the way he just walks in like that, it's not threatening at all. It's just goofy. You see how there's like no impact whatsoever?
And that original, that ending is
Yeah, because
like
Norman walks in,
heart-stopping. It's
sees her with her mother, and then he screams bloody murder like I'd been found out.
he like raises his knife. He's like, "Mother."
Yeah, he raises
you're
his
like-
knife, and then when Sam grabs him, he's like, "Mother!" And then you see the wig start to fall off, and it's just like writhing in anger. It's Robert Blake.
Norman Bates no longer exists.
Wait, no, not Robert Blake. Robert Blake was the murderer. No, Robert Forster.
There you go. Jackie Brown.
Yes.
Private.
Also in Alligator. If you ever seen that.
Put him away now, as I should have years ago.
Oh used to have a haircut like that.
Yeah, shortcut like that.
It was just so easy to maintain.
I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see.
Are we gonna see the face? Are we gonna see the face? The split face?
Fly.
Ah, okay, they did the whole face. Okay, superimpose.
Because in the
Now
original, did they do like a kind of a skeleton?
Yeah, the
over
half
him?
face first revealed the skeleton, and then it covered the whole thing, and then it transitioned into this.
Wow. Interesting movie.
It exists in two completely different worlds.
Yeah, that's gonna take a couple days to digest, but let's talk about it a little bit here. All right, well, that was Psycho 1998, and I'm still a little hesitant to give my thoughts on that, but what did you think about that, Larry?
Well, having seen it again for the second time in 25 years, I pretty much felt the exact same way what I felt when I first saw this movie, in that it's just this weird kind of in-between existence of like, it's very 1960s dialogue, yet it's 1998 aesthetics and acting choices. And I feel like it would have made more sense if they still set it in the 60s, even though it was made in 1998. By setting it in 1998, you expect a lot out of it that it's not able to deliver because it's not there in the material. Like, what is it that you're hesitant to say about it?
Well, I think we touched on it while we were watching the movie, where it's in this weird gray area. So we're doing this modern version of this classic movie, and we're using the same script. We're doing a lot of pretty much all the same shots. So like, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to do something different? Like, they could have made the kills way gorier, could have gone like super extreme. I guess they kind of took some liberties, but not enough for me.
Yeah.
I kind of like this, but I kind of didn't.
I know what you mean. It's like the most expensive fan film ever made.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's a film that shouldn't exist. For some reason it does, so we kind of have to contend with its existence now.
It exists in film history as an interesting experiment.
Like you said, I enjoy it for what it is. I just don't see the point of it, but I'm happy it exists.
Me too.
Yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed watching it, especially with you and your knowledge of the original film. That definitely was helpful.
I had a great time doing this with you.
We got to talk about Vince Vaughn's performance. I mean, that is really the make or break of this movie.
Yeah, well, the thing about the Vince Vaughn thing is the fact that the physicality of him doesn't really match the character of Norman Bates. You're supposed to not know that Norman is Mother, but Mother is like 5'6", 100-pound soaking wet, and Norman in drag is like 6'3", muscular, tall. It's like, there's no way to mistake the two.
Just from the jump, like, you know this dude is sketchy. Whereas in the original, you're like, oh, this is like a shy kind of emo boy. But in this one, he seems like imposing and just kind of off. But overall, it's just an interesting movie. Definitely deserves more conversation than what we're going to give here. But thanks for watching with me, Larry.
Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate this too. Thank you all to everyone who is watching this video, and to you, Rob, for allowing me to grace your channel like this.
Oh man, anytime. Well, that's the review. Let us know what you thought about the movie down in the comments below, and like and subscribe, whatever you feel like, if you're feeling the video. But we will catch you later. All right, take it easy, and subscribe to Scream Scene.